Dreaming of winning that big national championship? Tune in to Ed Arciniega's journey from the bowling alley to the TV table at the APA Nationals. Learn how this hardworking pool champion relies on self-care, mental fortitude, and a support network of coaches, family, and friends to rise to the top of the game. We hope you enjoy. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Lucky Breaks podcast. I'm Sue Lueder, and I'm here with Ed Arciniega. And we are recording at Pockets Billiards and Brew. And we are excited to be here. Shout out to Pockets for letting us record here today. And we are going to talk to Ed a little bit about his background in playing pool, as well as one of his championship matches, and talk about the mental side of the game. Ed, why don't you get us started? Tell us how you got into the game of pool and how you got here.
Well, it all started back basically when I first started competing was 2014. But, as a kid, just went to the bowling alleys and stuff and just messed around on the pool table. So it wasn't really serious trying to even compete. But I got asked by my aunt, Bernadine, shout out to Bernadine Diaz from Big Money. She got me into playing in one of her teams and just started playing APA from there and, really learning from there, honestly.
Did you have any coaches that sort of mentored you along the way?
Yeah, actually, my uncle Jerome Gruhl, he was my first mentor. Just had a lot of issues playing, really just the health side. And honestly, him helping me out, trying to get better and learning the game, it was fun. And I enjoyed it more.
Well, you have reached one of the highest levels in the APA, and I know you worked really hard to get there. So Ed's going to tell us a little bit about his championship event, an APA championship, and why don't you tell us a little bit about the event itself? And I hear it was a new bracket.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about that.
I'm going to start off with me playing at regionals. It was very, very new to me. My first time ever trying to qualify for really anything for APA.
Oh,
and
really?
I've been playing APA for like 4 years.
Wow.
So, I got introduced going to the break room. My first time ever going to break room was 2018 from when I tried to qualify.
Wow.
Kai, shout out to Kai. She helped me qualify for that event. And I'll tell you a little bit about her with this regionals.
She's going to be
up
on our podcast too.
Well, I'll tell you about the regionals. It's a funny story. But she helped me out a lot and she motivated me a lot. With that regionals, I was a 5 in 9 ball. And I was a 6 and 8 ball. So at that time, I was shooting really good 9 ball, obviously, to qualify. With that qualifier, I think I played two 5s and beat them to come here to the regionals. Mm-hmm. And then when I played the regionals, I lost my first match, actually. I lost against, I want to say her name is Melissa Goldstein. And you know what? Kudos to her. She shot really, really well versus me from what I can remember. And then from there, I did not lose another match and played all the way up until the match where you go to the finals. And I ended up going to a skill level 6.
Yeah.
And played against a skill level 4. I want to say her name's Heather Endorf. Yeah. She was shooting good all event to go there too.
Yeah. Everybody brings their A game to the regionals.
Before that match, and because I was kind of upset and I was kind of disappointed in myself before I played that finals match, was because I had qualified for 8 ball as well. And I went to the finals in that. And who did I play against? My good friend Kai. And she beat the brakes off of me. Yeah, she beat me 5-1 and rightfully... No, yeah, she was well-deserved. Then after that, she knew I was down on myself. She knew I had another match before I go into the finals of my other regional 9-ball one. And she just was like, you know what, you're a good shot. We all know you really shouldn't be a 5 and 9-ball right now. But she saw something in me about my composure. I wasn't really too upset. And I let things happen where, it was out of my control. And she helped me out a lot to get to that, spot again. Like, hey, this is brand new. Let's just experience this, have fun. So that's what I did. And I ended up getting that regionals for 9-ball.
Nice.
And I always thank her for that, too.
So here you are. Now you're going to nationals.
Now I'm going to nationals and play as a 6. Playing in the brand new 6-7 tier. This is where they cut off the black tier. And they cut off the black tier and they put it 6-7s and then 8s, 9s together.
That's fair, though.
Yeah. So, and it was the inaugural event for the gray tier. I went out there to compete in the nationals. I had 8 matches that I played undefeated. Played different skill levels, all 6s up into the finals match where I played against an 8.
Oh, yeah. Someone went up during
he went through the whole event as a 7. And then his semifinal match to get to the final I don't know how bad he wins, but he wins pretty bad. And he ends up playing as an 8 in the final event. So he gives me about a 20-point lead, basically. But, you know, it was a close finals match. The whole event was fun. My first time ever experienced it, like I said, going to nationals as singles, never went as a team, just by myself. Had my support family with me, you know. And
how tall was the trophy?
it's pretty big. I want to say it's like 2.5 feet.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy too.
Do you have it on your shelf at home?
Yes. I have my own little personal shrine, you could say. Right on top is that. Right under is my perfect sessions. But that's for another discussion, you know.
And did you get one of those big checks too?
Yes, I did. Yep, I kept that. I made sure I kept that.
Can you tell us how much it was?
It was $10,000.
Whoa.
Yeah, cash and prizes though.
Yeah.
So it wasn't all cash. It was some of it. I got a cue case, had an engraved cue in it that said Gray Tier Champion.
Nice.
Ended up getting a ring with it too, and about I want to say like $7,900.
That's great. Yeah. That's awesome. That's what everybody dreams of doing in the APAs.
I mean, anybody can do this. Just put the dedication, the passion, practice a lot, and you'll be right there. You know, we got some regulars that go here too, you know.
Yeah.
I see Aaron that go to regionals too, that qualifies a lot.
Yeah.
You know, when are we going to get you back over there? You know, we need you to qualify.
That's funny. I went to nationals once, but I didn't get very far.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I stopped playing in the qualifiers. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I think maybe I got lazy. Yeah, maybe I'll give it a try next year. Sometimes it feels like the deadline passes, and then I just give up. And now I'm trying to get up to a 6 in 8-ball, and that's going to introduce a whole new set of competitors. So we'll see. Yeah,
it'd be fun to see you there. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I know. Well, okay, so I have it on my bucket list to win a nationals event, and I haven't even come close yet. But I don't know. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I ended up getting 3rd place in Masters as well at my team event. I had Josh Watson on the team,
that helps.
Luis Arbaca, Cody Mattingly.
Yeah.
He played 2 matches though.
You were
Shout out to him. Yeah,
you were stacked.
He was the best scorekeeper that event.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah.
Well, so how do you manage the mental side when you're sort of on that run up? Do you ever have to deal with being overconfident or suffering a setback and then having to talk yourself back up again?
Yes. So, I mean, obviously, if you feel confident and being the 7-9 that I am, you get the confidence. You build that confidence. You're shooting great, and you feel like nothing can stop you. But that's where the mental side starts.
Yeah.
You got to keep that drive going. You got to keep all your fundamentals aligned. You got to make sure before you even take down the shot and you go down for it, am I doing this correctly? Am I doing that? And some might even overthink that too. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I do that. Mm-hmm. My stance too much? Is it too little? And then before I'm doing all that, I was like, I still need to take the shot. Oh no, I didn't reset.
Yeah.
Boom. And then disaster happens sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, totally.
And then when that happens, it's like, can I get back in line? Can I get back on track again?
Yeah.
That's where it starts messing with your head, And I've been a victim of that. We all have, actually.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
And it's a struggle sometimes.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the struggle and all that, when it comes to bearing down and knowing where you have to do, and you just can't execute it. We've been through so many situations and shot making ability opportunities to know what we're doing. You know what I mean? So it's a struggle especially when your head's not all the way in it, obviously. So
yeah. Well, and sometimes it's really hard because something's off, but you can't pinpoint what it is. I find myself often, and my teammates will know this about me, I'll miss a shot that I know I should have made, and I'll go back to my team and I'll say, don't look at your phones, look at me. I'm doing something wrong. There's something off in my stroke. I can feel it, but I can't quite pinpoint what I need to fix. And so I'm always asking my teammates to sort of watch me. Mm-hmm. And then when I get back to the bench, I'll say okay, what did you see? Tell me what you saw. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes it's so hard to help yourself in the moment. So
I'll tend to chime in on my players if I'm, especially the teams I'm on, my APA teams. I'll chime in. It won't be right after they do the shot. I'll wait till they approach me and they say, there's things that I could have done better. I'm like, well, you could have done this. Could have, stayed down a little bit longer if that's
a common one.
Yeah. And I just want them to feel comfortable. When they come back really flustered, I feel like, you need to shake all that off and try again, reset if you need to. Talk to me. Talk about what you're going to have for dinner tonight. Take your mind off of that, what you just did, and then get back fresh. You know what I mean? Like, you always want to know, you always want to reset when you come back to the table, because you don't want to take, if you miss a shot or you miss the opportunity and you get back to the table, you don't want to go back knowing what you did.
Still thinking about that last shot that you missed.
Still thinking about the last shot. Yeah. You want to come back fresh. You know what I mean? Have a better understanding of the table. Have fun when you're coming back to the, talk to your team,
Yeah, you have to be open to critique, but not let so much critique in that you lose all confidence. That's why this game is so interesting, and I plan on playing it for as long as I can, because it's just so much to learn, both about the mental and the physical side. There's always something to work on.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been thinking, we're entering the season of the city championship, or they're called the world qualifiers. So this is the one chance the APA teams have to qualify for the Vegas event, which happens in August. And I know I've been playing in this league for many, many years. And this is always the time when I get sort of anxious, because I know this is what I've been working all year for. And now we've got a whole team involved. What is your advice for a team that's maybe getting ready for cities? They've got many different skill levels on their team, so many different levels of ability. But we all, no matter what our ability, we all suffer from nerves and jitters and getting, too down on ourselves in the middle of the match. What would you recommend to those folks?
Just stick together as a team, talk to each other, communicate as much as you guys can, practice with each other, know the understanding of the table with each other, especially. And just like I said, always push to have fun, because if you don't have that, and you're always serious, you're gonna get at each other a lot. Like, if someone's serious, if you have like 5 serious players on the team and they're not speeding up to the standards of that other player that serious, you're gonna get really wrong. You're not gonna get the right stability of the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to be focused. You guys want to be in tune with each other, in sync. You know what I mean? No Justin Timberlake, but you know what I mean? Like,
I've been playing a long time, and I've been accused of being too serious when it comes to the cities or the world qualifier event. And I don't know, it's just more fun when you win.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I understand that. And everybody wants to do that. But sometimes, the other player you're playing against is just, is on point. There's really not much you can do. It's not a you thing. It's everybody else too, as a team too.
Yeah.
And you always strive to always want to pick up a player that, obviously just really lost really bad or something.
Yeah.
You want to be the first to motivate, especially if you're a captain. You want to be the first one there, say, hey, man, don't even worry about that. Shake it off. I'm still going to continue shooting you on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you've got 4 awesome players right behind you that will try to get you this win.
Right.
Because honestly, it's a team thing at the end of the day.
It is.
When we're not doing singles, if it was a single and you were disappointed, I would totally understand.
Yeah.
Because, it's a single event, and you didn't shoot that well, and it comes down to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when it comes to the team base, I'm sure you got those players that can help you out.
Well, and one thing that's interesting about these bigger team events, I don't know if it's if I'm just looking for it, but sometimes it seems like the lower skill levels end up being the last player playing, and it's all up to them to win for the whole team. And sometimes I am just amazed to see these newer players to the league really rising to that challenge. And I just want to give a shout out to all of them, because it doesn't matter how good you are. When you're on a team, if you're good, but you need the rest of the team to really be there and have that drive to win and pick themselves up if they miss a shot, because they're going to get to the table again.
Yeah, of course.
You were telling me a story about skill level 3.
Oh, yeah. So we were at Cities, and brand new. And he entered the league as a 3, just brand new. Picked him off from Stoney's bar, and and from there he just played lights out. Went 7 out of 8, got MVP. And there was a story where we went to Cities and he played first for us because he was so nervous he wanted to get it out the way. He did so well, he ended up getting a 3-0, and next week he was a 4.
Of
and
course
I think
he
it was
was.
because of that event, because the LOs were watching.
Yeah, the league operators are there to make sure we don't have any.
But I mean, I'm proud of him because he was very nervous. First time ever being in this type of atmosphere where it was more than 2 tables or 3 tables at the venue.
Yeah.
There was 4 or 12, 13 of them, and seeing all these people that he's never seen before, and knowing that there's eyes watching him, it's a lot of pressure, and he felt that. But I think he embraced it because it was an experience for him.
Yeah, yeah. So speaking of, feeling the pressure and being in a room full of all these people, these weekend-long events are an endurance.
Yes.
It's kind of an endurance sport. You have to maintain your mental game, your nutrition, your hydration, your energy levels. Yeah. What do you and your team do when that happens, when you're in those situations?
If we can get together, get a little quick breakfast, get some protein in, brain food if we can.
Yeah.
I would stay away from carbs just because, you just get that. I get foggy when I eat a lot of carbs, but especially before a match. I stay away from them if I could. Mm-hmm. But if I can eat a good salad or, something real protein level, it helps, at least with me, it helps me focus just a tad little bit. I won't feel tired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel energized.
Yeah. Yeah.
With my team, though, everyone has their different routines when they go into matches. There's some people on my team that that like to get a little drink beforehand. You know what I mean? Everyone's different. I try not to change people and their habits or what they feel is more comfortable to them. But if I can, try to get the team together and try to get a good meal in before a match. I never like to go in there hungry, I guess. But if I end up rushing and having to do that, then it's kind of what I have to do.
Yeah.
Because like I said, if the only thing on the menu is nothing but carbs, then I'll stay away from it.
I bet you're also the team coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of my teams, except for my master's teams, they coach me.
Yeah. Are there any coaching tips you have for people who are in a high pressure situation when you're coaching someone who's at the table? Maybe they're a lower skill level, a 2 or a 3.
I would say don't rush on the shot too fast. I would keep it simple if you can. But when you're under that much stress and, anxiety creeps in, at the end of the day, it's how they're going to react to it. I can only say so much. I can only tell them how my experience with it. Just try to stay calm, breathe before the shot. Go walk around the table. Mm-hmm. See what the angle, see where you think the cue ball is going to go.
Yeah.
But if that makes you overthink, just get down on the shot and just, play your best, I guess. It's tough.
Yeah.
Because people are different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've been trying to develop my coaching skills a little bit. And as you were saying that, I thought, as a coach, not only are you coaching them with the shot selection or how to shoot it, what English, if any, things like that, but you're also bringing your energy to them.
Yeah.
And they're going to absorb that. Mm-hmm. So if you come up being confident, but sort of calm, and not overconfident, but that's also part of the coaching responsibility, right?
That's true. Yeah. I had a few of them at Cities when we almost got to the finals versus Nyan's team. We lost our Linda Perez team, but a couple of skill level 4s were going into their nervous because they knew they had a lot. We had a lot on the line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're right there. We were so close from going to Vegas as a team.
Yeah.
This is what we wanted to do. This is what we
been working towards all year. Yeah.
And knowing that if we lost that, we would have to start all over again. It's just that's mentally draining itself. And your focus is not on the pool table anymore. It's about winning.
Yeah.
And you want to win at the end of the day, but it's tough too when that's all you're thinking about. Just take shot by shot, take your time. But with the 4s that I had, I just try to motivate them as best as I could.
Yeah.
Know that every shot they're making is a good shot. And if something happens where it's out of your control, just try your best.
Yeah.
If you need help, I'm there.
Yeah.
And I can help you.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. The other topic that you wanted to maybe bring up was, how do you recover from a slump? Let's say you've been shooting great for a few years, but all of us go through these moments where, man, you can't hit the broadside of a barn, like my teammate always says. And, sometimes you can't figure out what it is in your mechanics that's going on. What do you do when that happens?
So what I do generally is when I know that I'm going on a 3-game skid, that's when I start video recording myself. First, it starts with the fundamentals and see if I'm doing that correctly, or even streaming matches, and just re-looking at everything again and seeing what I can possibly do or what I did wrong, and work on those shots. But when it comes to a slump, it comes with my mental side too. I have a lot going on my personal side with my ongoing health issues that I have with my heart defect. But it comes into play, and I don't want it to, but with my breathing issues that I have when I play, it really takes a toll on me mentally.
Yeah.
And and it's hard sometimes for me to overcome that, because like I said earlier, if you're not thinking about just the table and the other things, it's hard to focus on what's at hand and what's in front of you. Like, I'm here to play pool. I'm not here sitting at a hospital chair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to get that out the way. But sometimes it's tough, because there's a lot of things that happen during matches with me that causes certain things to happen.
Yeah.
So, and with the slump, it's like, is it that, or is it me not shooting well, or is it me not shooting well because of that? There's so many factors that come into play where I don't know what it could possibly be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you've got this mental your brain is talking to you the whole time, trying to help you figure it out.
So from there, I'm not going into my next match prepared. I'm not going into my next match focused. I'm not going into my next match wanting to play and have that fun again.
Yeah.
And have that passion again.
Yeah.
It's like I have my mind somewhere else.
Yeah.
Not like everybody else has it,
Yeah, we all have
everyone's
that.
different. Everyone goes through their struggles, but I've had this since I was born, and coming into pool in the beginning, I wasn't taking care of myself and my body. I used to drink. I've been 5 years clean, by the way, almost 6 in August.
Wow.
And I knew it wasn't really helping my health.
Yeah.
It was actually making it diminish. And I finally realized, hey, let's slow down a bit. Let's get back to being focused again and being healthy and taking those right steps to become healthy.
Yeah.
And because if you don't have your health, then you can't play this game.
Yeah. The biggest thing that I work on health-wise is my sleep.
Yeah.
So making sure that I get enough sleep before I have an important match, because I've just learned that sleep is everything.
Yeah. I kind of wish I had that. I'm the one that really doesn't get that much sleep. Or
Do you stay up really late, kind of?
Enough sleep, yeah. But that's a really, really strong answer right there, yeah.
Yeah. I wish I was a better napper. I'm not. I don't know how to nap, but...
It ended up going more than 2 hours. You get, oh, dang, it's 5 hours later.
And then I'm just useless for the rest of the day. But yeah, we've talked a lot about the city's events. What upcoming events do you have that you're going to be playing in that are sort of those high pressure moments for you?
So my next one, as far as like APA or just in general?
It could be a weekend tournament, or I don't know.
Okay, well, we've got cities coming up. Let's start with that.
Yeah?
Well, I'm not playing in
8-ball and 9-ball?
I'm not playing in the 8-ball one. Didn't have no teams that qualified.
I'm playing in the 9-ball one.
Yeah, I'm playing 9-ball. So
Okay.
I'm playing the 21st, right?
Yeah.
June 21st. The brackets haven't came out yet, neither of the rosters, but
Right.
I'm playing in that one. And, my team and I are excited to play in that one, just in general. Like, we were there last time and we didn't get that far, so it's like redemption time. We want to show this team that, hey, we're here this time.
Yeah. Do you guys go out and practice as a team?
You know what? No, because the team that I'm not on that team anymore.
Oh.
I ended up switching teams, but I was on their team for spring session.
Okay, yeah.
So,
I'm in the same boat, actually.
Yeah, so, no, and we never really did go out as a team to practice.
Yeah.
It was just more so of the weekly basis, just seeing each other.
Yeah.
But like I said, when we went to Blasters Cities last time, we got out pretty quick, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just redemption time, We want to show people, hey, we're here this time.
I feel like the stars really have to align sometimes to get all the way through. It's really tough.
It's good to have support systems too.
Yeah.
It's good to have, you have that person that's always with you, that motivates you, keep them around.
Yeah.
They're good vibes, and honestly, that'll help you, get along the way. We all have a lot. We all have our different people that we like to hang out with the cliques and stuff. But, at the end of the day, we're all community. We're all friendly here.
Yeah.
I've known you a
And
while.
we
I've known Aaron a while. It's
Yeah.
like we're all cool with each other.
Yeah.
I think it's because communication. As long as we're communicating with each other and not really, straying away from each other, I think that works wonders, and it helps build relationships.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
you know?
I've noticed the community here just getting closer and closer, just even over the last year.
Yep.
It's been great.
You know, it's great to see and watch.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we have our Magic 8 Ball over here. So if you're ready to ask the Magic 8 Ball a question,
I am.
here is our Magic 8 Ball.
Okay.
I'll let you do the honors.
Oh, man. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Will Ed Arciniega win another championship? You can rely on that.
Whoa, really? Awesome.
I think so.
Okay.
I think that's what it said. You want to double check?
Well, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read it. But we've already had one winner of the 8 Ball thing where they asked the question and it turned out to be true.
Uh-oh.
So stay tuned for that episode. You'll find out about it
That means I gotta
pretty
hurry up
soon.
and get out there and qualify.
So we will come back and ask you about that.
Thank you guys for having me on this. I'm really honored and
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank
You
you.
guys are doing great things here, and I can't wait till this blossoms out more. And yeah.
Well, it's in large part to our wonderful guests. So thank you so much for joining us on the Lucky Breaks podcast, and we'll see you all next time.
That wraps up another episode. A big thank you to our guest for joining us today and sharing their story. If you want to connect with our guest, their contact info can be found in the show notes for this episode. Also, please show your support by liking and subscribing.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Lucky Breaks podcast. You can find more episodes at youtube.com/@luckybreaks-podcast or by searching for Lucky Breaks on your favorite podcast player. This episode was produced by Sue Lueder and Aaron Schulman. Thank you for your support. Sign up to be a guest on a future episode from our YouTube channel page.